The new Hyundai IONIQ 5. The future is here. The Hyundai IONIQ 5 is one of the most striking looking electric cars out there, but it is more than just squared off lines and sharp angles. It's out to take on the likes of the Volkswagen ID4 and the Ford Mustang Mach-E. So in this video, we will discuss the Hyundai IONIQ 5. The video is going to be amazing, so make sure you stick to the end. Before starting the video, be sure to smash the like button and subscribe to never miss out on any of our videos. Performance and drive comfort. A jacked up driving position and big windows make the IONIQ 5 an easy car to see out of, which is handy when you're trundling down tight lanes or trying to navigate busy car parks. Its light, accurate steering also steps in to make things a lot easier here, as do a range of sensors and cameras. Generally speaking, the IONIQ 5 feels like a car that's easy to keep out of trouble. There are 4 levels of regenerative braking to choose from, and the most powerful setting will let you bring the car to a stop simply by lifting off the accelerator. It takes a bit of getting used to, but once you've wrapped your head around it, chances are you'll use it all the time. Its softer suspension setup makes it a comfortable car to drive too. There can be a little bit of agitated fidgeting at low speed on poorly surfaced roads, and really big ruts will send a bit of shock back into the cabin. But generally, this is a cushy, quiet car to waft around in. It'll certainly take the stress out of the school run, that's for sure. Space and practicality. The sliding universal island center console up front in the IONIQ 5 has a couple of good-sized cup holders, as well as some larger cubbies and trays for various odds and ends. The door bins are a bit on the small side though, so fitting in larger drink bottles and the like might take a bit of careful coordination. The glove box is a great space though, and it is better described as a drawer, as it slides out to give you a huge amount of storage. The design of the center console means that there's a lot of room around the footwells, and because it can be slid forwards and backwards, it means that either of the front occupants can slide over to get out of the car on the opposite side if you end up parked in a tight spot. It doesn't add much more in the way of storage, but it does add to the general feeling of space in the cabin. The entry-level car has to make do with manual seat adjustment, while the premium and ultimate models get varying levels of electric adjustment. In the second row, there are storage pockets on the front seat backs, where kids can keep things like books or, more realistically, iPads and other techs. Again, there are door bins where you'll be able to stash smaller drink bottles, and if you don't have anyone sitting in the middle row, you can fold the armrests down to reveal 2 further cup holders. Handy. Interior style, infotainment, and accessories. The cabin of the IONIQ 5 is unlike any Hyundai, because it just looks and feels, for the most part, pretty cool and minimalistic. The quality is decent all around, and the seats and steering wheel can come covered with a soft-touch eco-friendly leather upholstery, while the extensive ambient lighting on the doors and dash adds to the IONIQ 5's lounge-like appeal. Other smart-looking touches include the graphite effect trim inlays in the doors, and the metallic covers that have been fitted to the ends of the indicator and washer stalks, which are cool and smooth under your fingers. Not all of the plastics are great, with the shortcut buttons that run below the infotainment screen feeling a little bit on the cheap side, but things like this are smartly balanced out by other neat details. Unsurprisingly, Hyundai goes heavy on the tech, with all versions of the IONIQ 5 getting a pair of crisp 12.3-inch digital screens mounted on top of the dashboard. The first is in place of an old-fashioned instrument cluster and holds all of your driving data, while the other is the touchscreen and the focal point of the infotainment system. It is straightforward to use with a series of handy shortcut buttons along the bottom edge that help you to get from one function to another without having to delve into the menus. The IONIQ 5 also comes with a vehicle-to-load charging function. Basically, this means you can use it as a massive mobile battery pack to charge up e-bikes and scooters, camping equipment, laptops, practically anything you can think of. It should theoretically be able to charge another electric car, but you'll be waiting some time if you go down that route. MPG, emissions, and tax. Hyundai has kept things pretty straightforward here, so you've only got a choice of 3 different battery and engine combinations for your IONIQ 5. The entry-level model has a 58 kWh battery that's paired with a single electric motor. This sits at the back of the car and generates a modest 170 horsepower and 350 Nm for a fairly brisk 0 to 60 mph time of 8.5 seconds. With that smaller battery in place, Hyundai says you'll be able to cover up to 238 miles on a single charge. Sitting above that car is the single-motor 78 kWh model. This car gets a slight power boost up to 217 horsepower for a 0 to 60 mph time of 7.4 seconds. But the main attraction here is that it gets considerably more range than the 58 kWh model, up to 298 miles from a charge. Then there's the range-topping model. This version has the same 78 kWh battery, but instead of just one electric motor, it has two, one at the back and one at the front. Together, these motors produce 306 horsepower and 605 Nm, which means this version of the IONIQ 5 can really get a shift on. The run to 60 miles per hour takes just 5.2 seconds, which is practically as quick as some of the faster hot hatchbacks you can buy these days. And our tests managed even quicker than that. That additional performance is certainly nice, but because there are two electric motors for the battery to keep running instead of just one, range takes a bit of a hit. Hyundai reckons you should be able to do up to 285 miles on a charge. And as for charging? Well, plugged into a 7 kilowatt home wall box, you'll top the biggest 78 kilowatt-hour battery up overnight very comfortably. On a 100 kilowatt public charger, you can expect to get 80% out of chargeback in around 35 minutes, while a 350 kilowatt charger, if you can find one, will get it juiced up to the same level in just 18 minutes. Regardless of which model you go for, you will get fast charging capability included as standard. Safety and security. The Hyundai IONIQ 5 has the full 5-star safety rating from Euro NCAP, which means it not only performs well in a crash versus its rivals, but it also comes equipped with a sort of safety kit that is required to get a high score these days. It scored well in the adult and child crash tests and also got a high rating on the technology front too. Lane keep assist, intelligent speed limit assist, emergency braking, navigation-based cruise control, and a driver fatigue warning system are all included as standard. Security-wise, all versions get much the same kit, including an alarm and remote locking and a smart key with keyless entry and a power on and off button. Price. The Hyundai IONIQ 5 has an RRP range of 41,650 euros to 56,150 euros. However, with CarWow, you can save an average of 489 euros. Prices start at 41,239 euros if paying cash. Monthly payments start at 480 euros. Thank you guys for watching. If you want more videos like this, make sure to like the video and hit the subscribe button, and we will see you in the next video.